Alright, we escaped the moles.
For now.
How lovely.
Oh,
I love these guys.
oh my god, we actually talked.
Taxi frogs.
Oh my god.
Hey.
Do we pay them in flies?
They have a very stereotypical French accent. How convenient.
Hey, hold it, big boy. My back is killing me today. Hey, you take the fat one. Hey, I'm right here.
Well, I guess only one of them is French, at least.
I guess the other one is supposed to be...
Austin.
Yeah, or at least Italian American. Ooh.
Oh.
And of course Cody's frog is also the slowest of the two.
Right. It seems to be moving just fine.
Not really, Teo. The speed is...
Okay, it just seemed at first, my bad.
But yeah, taking a cue from the frog form of Super Mario Odyssey, I guess. Let's go.
Wait, I was a frog can swim just fine.
But remember to do, but the water is full of poison, so...
It's poison by poison.
We have to finish the boss at the end of this part to eliminate the poison. But, where was I? Yeah, in fact, now that I think about it, we talked over it, but in the first part that we made out of this level, there was a flower form of Cody's that stretched very much like that caterpillar form we have in Odyssey as well. So yeah, Odyssey was also clearly some. It's abundantly clear at this point that Joseph is a big fan of 3D Mario. It seems,
or 3D platforms in general.
Yeah, that too, sure.
Which actually makes me wonder, considering again frog hopping anything, do we have? Oh yes, we do. Frogger throwback.
There we go.
You know, there's a Frogger game show.
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
I mean, there's also a Monopoly game show. I remember seeing that when we went to the States.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Basically, were you actually in the crowd when that happened?
No. It was on. I think it was on TV when we went there.
So yeah, the idea now is that every time we step one of these things, one of the other statues start the scorching water. So.
Whoops.
There you go, and we can't, and the platforms will not stay up. As you can see, I've just found that out.
See, now this water actually looks poisonous.
It's full of ecto-cooler.
It's
actually more like the mood slime from Ghostbusters 2.
It's working on color coding, Jova. Purple's bad, transparent is fine.
Speaking of, you mentioned
well,
that.
Look at it this way, Joe. At least I'm not going for the cliche. Red is color for bad. So.
Ooh. Yeah, actually, it's good thing you mentioned that, Tio, because there's the new debut movie coming out. I haven't seen Ghostbusters 2.
You probably should. I kind of prefer it over the first one.
Interesting though. I've heard different things about it. I've heard opinions ranging from it's just as good as the first one, to it's better than the first one, to it sucks because it's just a carbon copy of the first one.
It depends.
It is definitely polarizing, though. I will give it that.
Like, for example, I will
always argue it's a good movie.
Sure, I actually prefer Bill and Ted 2 over the first one. I find it funnier. So.
Is that a polarizing opinion? I'm not as familiar with Bill.
Well, the general consensus is that the first one is better than the second one. So.
And I heard
not that the second movie is hated or anything. It's just that people generally tend to say that the first one's better. Again, it's like with Ghostbusters.
I heard the third one was actually pretty good.
It was.
Yeah, the recent one.
Yes.
Hey, we're talking about Ghostbusters or
no, Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted.
Yeah, I heard Bill and Ted. I was like, Ghostbusters 2016? No.
Well, I can also think that this new film is a debut. It has nothing to do with the 2016.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway.
It's supposed to be a continuation of 2.
All right, so let's figure this out. Oh, okay. This is clearly a place. Again, it's always a good thing. It's one thing that I definitely like that sadly even some modern games forget to do is tell you what is interactable and what is not. Like, for example, whenever there's a hole like this, like, for example, it's not a plant. However, the game has that icon thingy that tells you, yeah, this is one of those places where you can squish water into. That way you don't have to do any pixel hunting, you know? There you go.
Also, what's happening to the music?
The composer is having fun, too.
I suppose, but...
How did you let the water in your garden get like this for so long?
They're actually going to explain. Shiroi. Basically, Cody hasn't been taking care of the garden for a long time. Basically,
This is like a biohazard.
Well, make do, I guess.
there you go. And now this.
He didn't make do. He did nothing.
It's all about the timing.
No, sure. We're making do now, though. You know, so what if the gardens become a biohazard? We'll just deal with it because we're dolls. And what doesn't kill us makes us stronger.
So you're dealing with it because it's actually impacting you now.
Well, remember, Shiroi.
Isn't that life in general?
What Jova said. Also, Shiroi, remember, technically we are in an alternate magical version of the real world. So technically, in the real version of the garden, it may not be this bad, probably.
I guess.
Because remember, up until this point, it's always been the formula with this game, where what might be a minor to mid problem in the real world gets exaggerated for gameplay and story purposes. You know,
like the cuckoo clock not working properly.
Yeah, basically. So again, it's an excuse for the level designers to just do whatever they feel like doing creatively, basically.
Oh, what a beautiful bout of scenery.
All right, let's do some grinding. Jova, cue.
Phil Collins, son of a man.
Well, actually, I was thinking of Frog Forest's theme.
Yep, that.
There's that black frog again.
Wait, no. The black frog shows up in Lost Jungle.
Yeah.
Same world.
I'm still wondering why that game didn't use the Act 1, Act 2 moniker. I mean, that would have been that would have been perfect, you know, because that game was trying to be more of a throwback to the classics.
I guess, you know, they consider them differing halves of the levels that, you know, flex their creative bone by coming up with different names for each one.
Plus, they can come up with different music.
Speaking of snail race, there you go, Jova. Here's a snail race.
Oh yeah, Sonic 3, never mind.
Oh, goody.
All right, here we go. I actually did yell out when we were here, like saying, and they're off. Well, I think they're off. All right, so yeah, we have to basically tell you squeeze the. Apparently, they squeeze the snail to get it to jump.
Well, Pedro, in a way, they are off in a way.
There you go.
Huh.
Their marriage.
I don't really know much about snails. Like, is this actually something snails can do?
Not with the that's okay. The idea of how they actually move, the idea of moving first part and then moving the rest, yes, that's fine. But not to this fast extreme.
Hello and welcome to our commentary of Turbo 2.
Here we'll learn true facts about the snail.
Well, does anybody know if the Netflix show is a sequel to the movie?
I haven't seen it.
From what I've heard, it
Don't
is.
care.
Well, there you go. There technically already is one then.
The sound effect of the movement is so ew.
I know, right?
Well, it's a snail.
Well, I mean, they're snails. What do you expect?
Pick a different sound.
But seriously, that wouldn't make any sense.
Like,
by that. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Next time I record a game that has a cat in it, I'm gonna replace the cat's little paws in the ground sound with snail slime.
We will not. Yes, snail fans will not stand for misrepresentation of the snail community.
Yeah.
I mean, the snail in Neverending Story was actually fine sounds.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can't find one, I'll just make the sound myself.
We'll get our garage band and just.
Yeah. I'll use GarageBand and tweak the sounds on the synth a bit and make it sound like slime.
Why would you do that?
Well, Siri, why would you insult the snail?
It made a noise I don't like.
That's so petty.
I think I'm too sober for this conversation.
Don't worry, you'll get drunk tonight for the other conversation.
Sure.
Considering what you've improvised in our Leighton runs, dwarves, you can't talk. Sorry.
Mushroom.
Instant
Yeah, but
platform.
Siri, I don't insult an animal.
Okay.
Okay,
Jumping
Dwibs.
on
Dwibs,
mushroom. Wait. Jumping on mushrooms. Oh my god, it's a Sonic Free and Knuckles reference.
Yes, Pedro?
Dwibs, I think you're a bit too emotionally invested in this.
But what have snails ever done to Siri?
She was a snail hater, confirmed.
Well, no, not really. I think it would be more because I would have actually just made a joke about using salt instead.
Oh, and here I thought you were going to talk about eating snails, Torio.
Okay.
As a
I
Sorry.
might be curious, but not to that extent. It's not high on priority.
Well, hey, they're allowing. Well, hey, travel between European countries is allowed again now, since you could go to Paris.
I'm pretty sure there is a French restaurant in my country that I can actually try to check out. Of
I'd
course,
also
it's
try
not.
one out of
Of
curiosity.
course, it's not the same thing, but might as well give it a try. But
As the owner of a snail farm, I will not stand for this.
besmirching.
Yeah.
yes, Tio.
Again, I forgot if I actually have mentioned, but one curiosity, kind of like, what's the term? Bucket list moment might be trying different types of meat that are not common in my country, but I'll seriously for another time.
So am I going to have to start saying snail people instead of dog people now?
Oof!
Wow.
Oh,
Okay. Wow.
Wait, what happened?
They actually got bumped by the window.
No, they just got bumped on their butts by the window, don't worry. Alright, we're almost there.
Sure, there's still another boss fight.
No, we actually are, Taylor. Remember, like I said, we actually finished this level in this part, so...
And now we're actually close also to the end of the game.
yeah, so only 3 more parts after this.
Huh.
Alright.
Yeah.
Oh, remember, Joe, we're almost done gathering all the pieces of the letter, so...
That is okay. It is true. Like we're already like halfway through with that. With this, we're gonna get a third part. So
Let me
that
put it
means
like this.
getting the final one is gonna be super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Let me put it like this. I sort of had a feeling that, yes, we were getting closer, but to me, I guess it feels like the pacing is a bit weird story-wise, in the sense like, well, okay, let me put it like this. The first half felt like stuff was constantly building up gradually, whereas the second half feels more like just about filling out an errands list more than a sense of progression and adventure, which, technically it is. It's part of our therapy session and whatnot. It's just that I guess, I don't know, it feels weird that the first half feels like it's building up to something, whereas the second half doesn't feel like it's building up to something.
That's exactly it, Joe, but that's the thing. The first half, remember, and we kind of brought this up already. A lot of the stuff that happens in the first half feels like story, and I mean story-wise, because a lot of the stuff that happens in the first half feels like filler. Because again, it's one of those. Again, it's yet another reason. I know I'm saying this all the time, but it bears repeating. I'm genuinely convinced that they thought of the levels first and the story second, and they had to pad out the story to get justification to the levels. Go on, Joe.
Which also determines the actual level length, probably.
Go on, Joe.
Like I've said before, also, I didn't even feel like the first half felt like filler until essentially the end of the first half made things more or less pointless. Because, again, they have like this goal here, but when that goal obviously turned out to not be the correct way, well, and the story's like, okay, let's put you on the right path, and, well, yeah, that's it. I mean, I'm not gonna say it feels bad, but let me put it like this. Imagine if, per se, for a Kingdom Hearts pod, one half of it was essentially Kingdom Hearts 1 building up to it, And then the second half feels more like just the Winnie the Pooh venture, in the sense like, well, yes, there are technically still enemies and whatnot, but it doesn't feel like we're going on adventure so much as we are just, well, fulfilling busy work and, chillaxing and whatnot.
Yeah, it feels like the two halves don't seem to mesh into a coherent whole entirely. Not that it doesn't work, like it still manages to work out itself fine, I will argue. But yeah, it could have been a bit more cohesive.
It's possible to make this work. It's just that the second half feels like something that you would put in, like, the middle of a plot as opposed to being, well, the ending half of things.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Like, okay, maybe there'll be a definitive final boss, but right now it doesn't feel like we're building. It doesn't feel like we're building up to one. Is what my point is.
Well, we've got a few parts left, though, don't we?
Three
no,
actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, almost
I
done.
get the idea that again we need to a bit more get to the conclusion.
It doesn't feel like it.
I just found something actually. You know the actress who voiced Cutie the elephant earlier?
Yeah.
She was also the voice of Horrid Henry.
Huh.
I don't know that. Sorry.
Okay.
It's a book series about Horrid Henry, who's intentionally written to be like the worst childhood health form on the planet.
Oh, so Caillou.
Yeah. All right, let me just explain this. Basically, May has to get rid of all the poison so that Cody can replant all the flowers, basically.
Mm-hmm.
That way we can, and this is actually God, what's the name? What's the name of the, when you have a garden and you have this particular little house where you have all your flowers?
Greenhouse.
That's it. Thank you. So this is basically the greenhouse, Cody's greenhouse. So we're also taking care of it. All right. Basically, the idea is that we finish putting all the flowers, and when the enemies show up, that's your sign that you've officially replanted everything. So now kill all the enemies before you can destroy the little thing, whatever it's called.
The bulb.
Yeah, quite a lot of these actors were in when stuff like Xenoblade Chronicles 1 and 2 and
it's common to us. Remember the guy who played. Sorry, go on.
The guy who played the vacuum in this was the narrator in Puppeteer.
Yeah, I did notice that actually when...
it's pretty common to us. Remember, the guy who played Leander in Ni no Kuni 2 also played Shulk, still played because he returned for the Definitive Edition, and he was also Tintin in the Secret of the Unicorn game that we did.
Adam Holwyn, I think that's his name.
So he's a common go-to British actor on the industry.
Xenoblade Chronicles also did help him getting recognized on an international level. So there is that too.
I mean, remember too, one of his lines became a meme. Well, remember too, one of his lines in that game became a meme. So.
Not just one, Pedro, I know.
Well, sure, yeah. Go on.
And again, Smash did help as well.
All right, almost done. If I remember correctly, this is the last of the flower beds. All right, here we go. Yeah, this is like I said, this is actually the more combat heavy of all the levels, definitely.
Also, the flying bulb enemy does remind me of the Pikmin, main motherlode, the mini UFO that actually spawns your Pikmins.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there was also that as well. Again, like a crap ton. It's not even just like in terms of he played this or he played that. Like I'm pretty confident it also has to do with like I generally get the feeling that for this game, Joseph Fares did the same thing that Kojima did with Metal Gear Solid 2. He probably turned to his entire team. Okay, guys, here's what it is. At the end of the day, each of you give me like 5 ideas for a gameplay level, gimmick, or whatever. I will review them all at the end of the day, and the ones that I feel like are really the best will go into the game. He probably did something akin to that. I'm genuinely convinced. Because the creativity on display really makes it very palatable that was the case.
I mean, again, it really does just feel like they put gameplay stuff here. Like, and again, I don't think we'd even raise that much a big stink about it if they clearly didn't want us to care so much about the story, like, because they did make a big deal about the story as well, and it's just,
All right.
eh.
Down to the last one.
That's probably our final boss.
Let's see.
At some point, there'll probably be a fight. There'll probably be a Joseph Ferris game where the final boss is Ferris himself.
It would be cute. Oh, Jesus
Oh
Christ.
boy.
Uh,
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we meet Joy, aka Cody's favorite flower.
Cody, wait. Be careful.
You're alive. It's okay. We're here to help. It's Cody. You remember me?
I don't think so, Cody.
Even so, it might be a case of neglect, so...
Oh, I love this one. Listen to May's response here. I love this.
You look juicy.
Really, May? It's now the time.
Like,
We're gonna
both me
die
and
because
Vanessa.
of your plan, but you look juicy. Is that what she said to him in bed?
He's thirsty.
No. Actually, yeah, that's exactly it.
Yes.
Actually, Joe, but that's exactly it, Joe. But me and Vanessa both kind of simultaneously went, "Oh my!"
Well, so this is what restarts their sex life. Nearly getting killed by Cody's plant, who has the face of a woman for some reason.
well, that's certainly one interesting turn
Well,
on the third day.
Web's kinks are never, if ever, rational. So
Also,
Yeah, I
there's
know.
also Java. It's a common thing in a lot of actually mythologies, not even just one, to have the idea of a demon or an entity that is basically, I know, a
I know.
human in a flower or anything. It's
I
really to
know.
represent temptation, like their aphasia.
Honestly,
Okay,
my
go
thought
on.
was that they were gonna have like this weird thing where Cody has to pick between his life or the plant when she had a woman's face on it.
okay, the idea is that we have to defeat all the normal enemies that it spawns, and after that, this happens. And now we get an actual chance to attack Joy. Alright, some water first. Hopefully. There you go.
What
Now,
could snap joy out of it, I wonder?
we have to destroy those evil bulbs.
Oh, whoa, he's inside Joy!
Yes.
Hey, whoa.
So there you go. Now he has to try his best to... There you go. So that May can cut it. And at the same time, May has to be careful with the mooks. So,
Well, there you go, Tion Shiroi. He's literally inside of her.
yes.
There's no
I mean-
deflowering happening here, Jova. Stop it.
Ooh.
Don't think she liked that.
Okay.
So yeah, this is actually one of the a boss that actually doesn't have a life bar. Instead, it works more on the
Phases.
phases rather than a life bar.
Can't rest yet. Is something going on?
And Cody's no longer a tomato, so that's nice.
We've come to save you. Please stop.
Her maniacal laughter seems to suggest otherwise.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
not. Yeah,
exactly.
she's not. Oh, there you go. Here we have DuckTales remastered style of obstacles. There you go. There we are.
Oh.
Oh crap.
Yeah, it's the timing. Yeah, that is. It's exactly like trying to dodge an air of attacks in Final Fantasy 14. God damn.
I wonder if Cody's gonna still keep calling her Joy after this.
Well, actually, Shiroi, like I said, remember, technically this is his fault, and he himself will admit it at the end of this. So,
Besides, Shiroi, she's not using friendly pellets anyway.
you see, Shiroi, this is what happens when you don't take care of your plants.
Yeah, this isn't very friendly.
All right. Next.
All right. What else you got?
Did you get it out of your system? Oh, potato.
And now I'm a potato.
Cody, I always knew you were a couch potato.
Stage!
Jesus.
I better
Potato
next
charge.
time.
I don't know, I liked it.
Okay, allow me for a better pun. It's the low-hanging fruit. Sorry.
Well, a potato's a vegetable.
Actually, a root, technically.
Yeah, a root vegetable.
Whatever. It's something having to do with agriculture.
It's something we can make fries with.
And roast potatoes.
It's interesting because I actually.
Yeah, but those aren't as good. But anyway.
It's interesting
I
because I
like
actually
roast
had.
potatoes.
It's interesting because I actually had the potatoes as part of my dinner just earlier. So.
I'll be having potatoes as part of my dinner too.
Also, Dweebs, you had to mention it like Sean Austin. Potatoes.
And I had fries for lunch.
Boil and mash them.
Well,
stick
with
this
my
stuff.
lunch.
Stew, yeah.
Again, that's a form of a potato, Jova.
Exactly.
Well, I think that's what he meant. Yeah, sure. So. Okay, so again, remember, you always have to make sure that May it constantly keeps the poison out of Cody, so that Cody can, bump into those things. So, speaking of the, there you go. All right.
Going back in for Joy. I think I'm getting through to her.
Joy is coming off like poison ivy from Arkham Asylum now that I think about
Yeah, it
it.
does remind me a bit of also her boss
Yeah,
fight.
that's why I said kinda when you asked me that question last part.
Trying to help you.
This is for your own good, Joy.
Yes! Now prick your hand here,
But I'm gonna do what's best for you.
Oh boy.
even if it requires blowing up the U.
Here we go. There we are. Now only the one on the head. Oh, Dej, you still there?
Guess not.
I guess not. Shame. I had a cool thing to point out for him.
Oh no, I'm right here. Right
Okay.
here, sorry.
Hey, all right, Judge. Pay attention.
Plates.
Plates.
Hold on. Oh crap. Soup.
Oh.
And this reminds me a lot of Super Mario 3D World, specifically one
The
of the.
snake boss.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. There you go.
So break. Okay, I guess it was supposed to be. I don't actually know. They're supposed to be made of terracotta and not plastic.
So yeah, just like with the previous time, make sure you go to the one that doesn't have a shadow over it, because that's the one that won't hit.
And be careful because most of basically they can crack after repeat it.
Fuck.
Oops.
That's okay. Let's try again.
Once more with purpose.
Basically, you have to really be fast on your feet because, as you can see, the plants don't really stop. Okay. The hint that I can give is whenever they all of them go back to the middle. That way, the two of you can easily jump to wherever might be the best part.
That's usually how it works for these kind of platforming obstacles.
Mm-hmm. And remember, as long as one of you survives, the other one can come back. So basically, again, it's one of those cases where, fortunately, the better player can always carry the other one if the other one is not as good. So there we are, almost done. There we are.
With her cat running out of space ball.
And there we are.
Slow.
Epic slow-mo!
Ow.
That's okay, I survived, so we're fine.
Okay,
what?
what's the next
And now...
Didn't catch what that was.
Avocado.
Alright then.
Citrus prevails.
Oh,
Okay, lime.
it's the lime.
okay.
Or lime.
Hey, look, Pedro, you finally got a day in the limelight.
Edge, please.
I will argue that one is worse than the couch potato one.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna throw Dejimon. No, it's still better than the couch potato. one.
Yeah. You guys are just being sour about the whole thing.
Okay then.
Well,
Get it? Sour?
Yes.
yes, I did get it.
That one made me sour.
So you can't just use the same word after I said it.
Yeah,
Oh no, I'm not making a pun.
You sure?
I'm expressing how I felt about that.
Why don't I trust you though?
Well,
Because you're British?
You're as British too.
so the Brits, so the British people don't trust each other.
No, we don't.
In the David Moffat era of Doctor Who, the tagline literally is "The Doctor always lies." So yeah.
Okay, let's try that again. Don't worry.
Squeaks.
Don't worry. Don't worry. Fortunately, the checkpoint system is very generous.
No, yeah.
So you're fine. All right. It can get quite hectic, as you guys can see. Like, so you have to try your best to pay attention to everything that goes up and that happens around you, because the poison keeps regenerating. Plus, all the other mooks keep attacking. So you have to try your best to. There you go. Fortunately, you can attack them easily enough because most of them are ground level. There you go. There we are. Bonk. Bonk. All right. So okay. So what other fruits / vegetables / roots, whatever, would you think will also be good to use in this boss?
Corn on the cob.
Okay, sure. A piece of corn. Why not? All right. Final hit. So what?
And also, then again, the corn boss in Castle Crasher is actually one of the more annoying ones.
Almost there.
Let me into your head, Joy.
All right, almost.
It's like popping the worst kind of pimple.
Ew.
There we are.
Ooh.
Oh God, we killed Joy.
No,
My
she
God,
just has a really bad headache.
It's like that scene
Yo,
with
I
the little
killed
toaster
the
where you turn when the toaster turns for a second and the flower is fucking dead.
There we are.
Okay?
Oh, smack.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. I should have.
Considering this game was predominantly a British voice cast, I wonder how many actors in this game were
There you
actually
go.
American.
I didn't understand how important it was for Cody. They do now.
That's good. But it's not your fault. Cody gave
It's
I
not.
mean, it is.
Yeah, I actually really like this particular interaction here. I actually like this is actually an example of how to use a character flaw well for once. Well, hold on. Yeah.
She didn't believe in me.
Well, it doesn't. It's not just that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you still gave it up, Cody. So
It's all up to you. Will you give it up again?
there you go.
Don't worry, Joy. We'll find you a nice, decent-looking bee. Don't worry.
So yeah, so there you go. The lesson today is everybody take care of your garden, otherwise it will be covered by poison. Oh, there you go. And this translates to the flowers blossoming.
E.T. is alive again!
Yes. Yeah, I one of my favorite Freakazoid skits is when Spielberg is shooting E.T. Returns, and Elliot is all grown up and he's making out with his girlfriend, and then E.T.'s like, Elliot, I'm back and I'm grown up. Go away. Also, Rubber Ducky.
There's no water!
I think she's playing pretend and stuff like that. I think that's what it's supposed to be.
Okay, then.
Either that or she just drowned her parents.
All right,
Oh god.
all right,
They
everybody.
deserved it.
All right, everybody. In the
Yeah,
next
they
part, we start the final therapy session involving May's passion. So let's see what it is in the next part. See you then.
All right. Yeah.
See ya.
Oh yeah.